I'm right here, you started working on this, or you were courted to do this before there was even the name Sharks?
Yeah, what had happened was there was, I guess, what do they call it? California hockey something or other.
Right, before it was the Sharks.
Bay Area hockey.
Right.
What had happened is I was doing a talk at an event, and Matt Levin was there, who at the time was, somebody who was in sports, kind of one of the sports gurus when it came to marketing and things, and he saw me speak, and long story, they said, hey, because at that time, nobody knew me for logos.
Right.
And
you were just an artist.
I was just an artist.
Okay.
I was showing what we had done for other people, and, kind of my approach was different. For anybody who's seen my artwork, it was, I call it sports fantasy. So we were doing things that nobody else was doing. And so they saw that and said, hey, would you be interested? I said, sure.
In doing our logo?
In doing a logo.
Now, they didn't have the name Sharks yet, though.
They did not have
because
the name.
it was a fan contest that helped decide the name Sharks.
In theory, it was a fan contest.
It was known as a fan contest. Here we go. The true story.
Well, again.
They might have angled it in the way they wanted.
They were trying to figure out what the name was, what they were going to do. And as you know, right, the San Jose SAP didn't exist at the time, so they played originally at the Cow Palace.
Right.
But when we first started, it was about, who is this team? What do we want to do? So yes, they were going through names. They were doing focus groups, trying to figure out what the names were. All that kind of stuff.
But you were going to come up with the logo no matter what the name was going to be. It was you were at least in that mix, right?
Yeah, I was involved in the conversations early on when it had to come with name, when it had to come with, logo and things like that. And, at that time, my recommendation, because if you remember, that was also a time where people were picking some, esoteric names.
Yeah.
If you think about the USFL, you had the Sun, the Bell, things like that.
Right.
And part of it is how do you represent those things,
right?
So for me, I was, pushing heavily towards let's have something that's tangible.
A shark.
Anything that's tangible, right? Instead of, kind of like I said, an esoteric name. You have to also remember that the NHL properties did not exist.
Right.
For those of you who are out there who don't know what that means, is all the leagues have a property division. NFL, NBA, all that kind of stuff. That means all the owners split the revenue from logos, from T-shirts, from hats, from all those things.
Merch, as the kids call it these days.
So when we did the Sharks logo, NHL properties did not exist.
Right.
That means the Sharks were going to get all of that revenue.
Oh, man.
Which meant that it could give them an advantage when it came to signing players and all that. So there's a business side to
printing money with that Sharks logo in the early 90s. And so that's my next question. This logo was everywhere.
Yeah.
Teal was everywhere. The royal family across the pond were wearing Sharks gear.
Yeah.
San Jose, California? Are you serious?